In American aviation history, there are moments when a pilot has only seconds to make a decision. One mistake can cost hundreds of lives, but sometimes extraordinary courage turns an impossible situation into a story of survival. On January 15, 2009, U.S. Airways Flight 1549 took off from New York City with 155 people aboard. Just minutes into the flight, the aircraft struck a flock of Canada geese. Both engines lost power. The airplane was suddenly a glider over one of the most heavily populated cities in America. The pilots had almost no time to react. Captain Chesley Sullenberger immediately took control, while air traffic controllers searched for a runway where the aircraft could land. But there was a problem. The plane was losing altitude rapidly. A normal landing was becoming impossible. Sullenberger had to make a decision. Instead of attempting to reach a distant airport, he chose an option that seemed almost unthinkable. He would land the powerless aircraft on the Hudson River. The plane descended toward the water as passengers prepared for impact. Then Flight 1549 touched down on the river. The aircraft remained largely intact, allowing passengers to escape onto the wings and into the freezing water. Nearby boats immediately rushed toward the scene. All 155 people aboard survived. The event became known around the world as the Miracle on the Hudson. But behind the famous phrase was a crew that had only seconds to make life or death decisions. Captain Sullenberger later said that his job was simply to do everything possible to save the people on board. His calm response, experience, and decision-making became an example of what professional aviation training is designed to achieve when disaster strikes. The story also showed the importance of teamwork. First Officer Jeffrey Skiles worked alongside Sullenberger during the emergency. Flight attendants helped passengers remain organized during the evacuation. Emergency responders and boat crews arrived quickly after the landing. Together, they turned a potentially catastrophic accident into one of the most remarkable survival stories in modern aviation. There was no runway. There were no functioning engines. There was almost no time. But there was one final option, and the crew took it. The Miracle on the Hudson reminds us that heroes don't always wear uniforms covered in medals. Sometimes they sit inside a cockpit. Sometimes they are flight attendants helping frightened passengers. Sometimes they are strangers in boats racing toward people in freezing water. And sometimes heroism is simply remaining calm when everyone around you is afraid. On that January afternoon, 155 people went into the sky expecting an ordinary flight. Minutes later, they were facing a disaster. But because of the decisions made in those critical moments, every one of them came home. One plane, 2 failed engines, one impossible decision, and 155 lives saved.